So I have finally seen the live-action Moana movie, and I actually saw this last night on Thursday. I just, didn't really feel like recording the review last night as soon as I came home, so I decided to wait until now, where I'm at my parents' place for the weekend, and I figured, hey, why don't I go ahead and review the live-action Moana movie, since I haven't really made a video in, like, basically a week. I think the last video I made would be a week ago by the time I upload this video, which will be tomorrow, so yeah, by then it'll be like a week since my last video. And I know I've been kind of slacking on the videos lately. Like, the last video before that one was also like a week ago. So, I've been kind of slacking a bit on these videos, but movie news has been kind of dry these past couple weeks, so there hasn't really been much to make videos on. So that's kind of why movie news or like videos have been kind of slow these past couple weeks. But I'm gonna try to get back on track, try to get a bit more consistent, and I figured, hey, why don't I go ahead and review the live action Moana movie since I have finally seen it. And I mean, for the most part, what am I saying? It is pretty much just the same movie from the animated movie back in 2016. Which, speaking of which, the fact that we already have a live action Moana, even though the original came out back in 2016, is kind of crazy. Like, I literally made this YouTube channel right here that you're watching right now before the animated movie came out. And that was 10 years ago. I made this channel back in March of 2016, and the animated movie came out in July of 2016, or I think it was November. I'm pretty sure it might have been November, actually, of 2016. But yeah, I made this YouTube channel in March of 2016, so I made this channel before the animated movie released, and that was only like 10 years ago. So yeah, this movie isn't even that old, and Disney just for whatever reason decided, hey, why don't we make a live action Moana movie? Because, that is like the greatest idea ever. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, at least with How to Train Your Dragon, that movie was like 15 years old. It came out back in 2010, the original one, and that was by DreamWorks. So, they hadn't really done like the whole live action thing. So it kind of was a little bit more, understandable why they would attempt the live action route. Whereas Disney, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, Disney has made everything live action. They've made Cruella live action. They've made Aladdin live action. Pretty much any movie that you can think of has been turned into live action from Disney, like Beauty and the Beast. I'm trying to think of some other ones, because I know there's even going to be like a Tangled live action movie, but at least that makes a bit more sense, because that came out back in 2008, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was 2006, I'm not sure. It was one of those, it was around that time, and it's a bit more older, so it would make sense, and I'm pretty sure that movie's not going to come out until like 2027 or 2028, so, that would make sense why they would do that movie rather than Moana, because, like, what are we doing? This is literally, I swear to God, the same movie. This is not a situation where it's like, it's not like How to Train Your Dragon, where, it kind of was the same movie, but they, like, changed up some things, they added some new things onto the story, so therefore it wasn't exactly the same movie, although it was pretty dang similar, it was slightly different. This movie, same story, pretty much same everything, same songs, same lines, same jokes. It is literally the same movie. But I'm not gonna lie and say that it is like trash, because I know there are people saying that the movie is like terrible, it's awful, it's bad. It's like, it's just an okay movie. Like, there's nothing too awful about it, if I'm being honest here. Like, yeah, the story's the same as the animated movie, but like, what's really wrong with doing that? I mean, I know there's also the argument, like, what is the point of doing that? Which I also kind of understand. If you're just going to take the same movie and make it live action in the same movie, it's like, why make the movie at all? But it's Disney, and, it's for, like, money purposes and all that. So, yeah, that is why this movie exists, pretty much. And, one of these, like, the weirdest things about this movie is that they have The Rock, who voiced Maui back in the animated movie, but in this one, he just looks so off. It's probably because of the fact that it's literally just The Rock in a wig. Like, you can tell that it is The Rock. Like, there's no, like, suspension of disbelief or anything like that. You just look at him and all you see is Dwayne Johnson. You don't see Maui or anything like that, because obviously he voiced Maui in the original movie back in 2016, but you don't really hear The Rock sometimes. You just kind of see Maui and all that. But with this movie, all you see is The Rock, and it is just the weirdest thing ever because it is just him in a wig and this muscle suit, which is kind of crazy because, like, The Rock is already pretty muscular and, like, pretty strong. So, like, why did they feel the need to put him in a suit? I don't know. But they have him in, like, a padded muscle suit. And another weird thing that I don't understand why they did it. Maybe it's because in the animated movie, this wasn't the case. But I saw a post on Twitter about this, and it was of the fact that they CGI'd out The Rock's nipples. It is like, why would they need to do that? It doesn't make any damn sense because you watch the movie, and yeah, bro has no nipples, not a single nipple in sight, even though he was completely shirtless the entire movie. Not a single nipple in sight. I don't know why they felt the need to CGI out his nipples. I don't know. But, yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying about, the movie not being terrible. It's not like, an atrociously bad movie. I just feel like people have been so tired of these live action remakes that, if they have the same movie and, like, a movie that's not even 10 years old, people are just gonna bash it and, like, hate on it and be like, this is trash, this is awful, it's terrible. When really, it's just, like, a perfectly fine movie. Like, it's kind of like Supergirl in a way where it's not really bad, but it's not really great either because it is the same movie as the animated movie, and the animated movie is pretty dang good. I would know because literally the first video I made on this channel was a piano cover of one of the songs from the original Moana movie. If you go to my channel and you go to, like, the oldest video, it is literally of a piano cover from Moana. I actually made 2 piano covers of Moana. The first one was of How Far I'll Go. That was the first video I ever made on this channel, piano cover of How Far I'll Go from Moana. And then the second one I made was of the song I Am Moana. That is the other one that I did. And yeah, so I would know the original movie because I actually haven't seen the original movie in quite a while. I was thinking about rewatching the original movie before seeing this live action one, but I was like, you know what? Probably shouldn't do that because there were some reviews that I was watching saying that, like, if you are gonna, or if you're thinking about watching the original movie, don't, because then it's just gonna make the live action one feel like 10 times longer. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm probably just gonna go see the live action one first, and then maybe sometime afterwards I'll watch the animated movie, which I might do this weekend actually, since I'm here at my parents' place. I got this big-ass 65-inch TV literally right in front of me that I'm looking at right now, so I can go ahead and watch the original one if I wanted to. But, yeah. Anyways, if I had to rate this movie, I would give it, like a 5 out of 10. Like, it's average. It's nothing too crazy, but it's nothing, like, atrociously bad either. It's just the same movie from before. Like, it's the story of Moana, and there's one part that I thought they were, like, changing from the animated movie, and that was the beginning of the movie where they were talking about how Te Fiti and Takai are, like, 2 separate beings, and, like, how Maui steals the heart at the beginning of the movie. And how there's this, like, story of Takai rising and being this, like, evil threat that wants to take the heart of Te Fiti, and all these creatures wanting to take the heart of Te Fiti. I was sitting there in the theater thinking, did they change the lore from the animated movie? Because in the animated movie, Takai and Te Fiti are the same person, and people just think that they are 2 separate beings, when really they are the same person, and the reason why Takai exists in the first place is because of the fact that Maui steals the heart of Te Fiti. But you come to find out, of course, by the end of the movie, and at the end of the live-action movie, that Takai is Te Fiti, and again, it's the same thing. So at first, I was kind of sitting there thinking that, maybe they changed the lore and actually made Takai and Te Fiti 2 different people. But no, it is the exact same case as the animated movie, and yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this review. This is going to be a pretty short review because I don't really have much to talk about. Because, like I said, it's literally the same movie from the animated one. So it's not like there's really anything I can talk about that hasn't been said before or hasn't been done before, because I don't really think there was anything new that happened in this movie. Everything was like the exact same. It's not like How to Train Your Dragon, where some things are different and they added some new things. No. Same dang movie. And I don't even know if they would even make a sequel, because they kind of do, like, hint at a sequel, Because, obviously when Moana returns from her journey, she sees Pua, like the pig and everything. She's like, oh, I promise you'll come on the next one. It's like, are they gonna make another one? Because I don't think this movie is gonna do that well financially. I think it's only gonna have like a 200 million box office run. So I don't know if they're even gonna make a second live action movie, which would be really weird considering that the second animated movie came out literally only like 2 years ago. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. We are only 75 subscribers away from 800. I kind of had a blank moment there, but we are only 75 away from 800. We're at, wait, okay, yeah, 75 because we're at 725. So we're only 75 away from 800. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. And like I said, I'm going to try to get videos back on track more consistently. It's just that there wasn't really anything to make videos on. I don't really kind of want to do like only reaction videos because that was the last video that I made was a reaction video, but I just didn't really want to make another reaction video in a row. So yeah, that's kind of why I didn't really upload for like a week. But I'm going to try to get back on track. And if you have seen the new live action Moana movie, you can let me know what you think of it. Like I said, I don't think it's like atrociously bad, but it's not really anything too crazy either. Like the songs in it are all the same, but of course they're Disney songs, so they do sound pretty dang good, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not gonna lie and sit here that I wasn't getting chills and stuff like that listening to the songs in the theater. So yeah, it's not like it's the worst movie, it's just kind of whatever. So yeah, like I said, if you're planning on watching this new live action movie, I would recommend probably don't watch the animated one first. Probably watch the live action one first, and then watch the animated one afterwards, because it would probably make the movie feel like 10 times longer. Which I were also seeing reviews that, like, this movie felt super long, and, like, I kind of understand where they're coming from, because it did kind of feel a little bit long, but I think it's only less than 2 hours. I think it's like an hour and 48 minutes or something like that, and it didn't really feel that long to me, in my opinion, but, yeah. Anyway, so I think that's going to wrap it up for this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.